There is a moment in every life when the room feels colder, not because the air has changed, but because the faces around you suddenly feel unfamiliar. You're laughing, you're talking, you're sharing memories, yet somewhere deep inside your chest, a quiet voice whispers that not everyone here wants you to rise. This story begins in that moment, not with betrayal itself, but with the first subtle crack in trust, the kind you ignore because you don't want to believe that the people closest to you could ever be the ones sharpening the knife. Machiavelli once warned that the most dangerous enemies are not those who openly oppose you, but those who smile while secretly praying for your downfall. And this is the lesson most people learn too late. Fake friends rarely arrive as villains. They arrive as comfort. They sit beside you when you are nothing. They clap when you achieve something small. They encourage your dreams just enough to stay close. They listen carefully, not because they care, but because they are collecting information. They memorize your fears, your weaknesses, the stories you tell when your guard is down. At first, their presence feels warm, almost necessary. You tell yourself this is what loyalty looks like. You tell yourself you are lucky to have people like this around you, and that is exactly how they gain power over you, not through force, but through familiarity. Machiavelli understood human nature in a way that makes people uncomfortable. Even centuries later, he knew that most harm does not come from open enemies, but from those who depend on you, envy you, or fear becoming irrelevant in your shadow. A fake friend is someone who needs you small so they can feel big. They celebrate you in public but compete with you in private. They offer advice that sounds caring but subtly steers you away from your own strength. They plant doubt in your mind, not all at once but slowly, like poison diluted in honey. And because the words sound gentle, you drink it without resistance. Pay attention to how they react when you succeed. Real friends feel joy that doesn't need an explanation. Fake friends feel tension. Their smile tightens, their praise feels rushed, their eyes look away for just a second too long. They may joke about your success, disguise their jealousy as humor, remind you of your past mistakes at the very moment you are moving forward. Machiavelli would tell you that this is no accident. People reveal their intentions not through what they say, but through what they cannot hide when power shifts. Your growth changes the balance, and those who were comfortable when you were beneath them often become uncomfortable when you begin to rise. The danger is not that fake friends dislike you. The danger is that they study you. They know when you are tired, when you are emotional, when you are uncertain. They choose those moments to influence you the most. They encourage hesitation when you need courage. They amplify your fears while pretending to protect you. They may even create problems for you and then offer themselves as the solution, so you associate your survival with their presence. This is psychological control disguised as companionship. Machiavelli believed that control is strongest when the victim believes it is safety. There comes a point when their words start to echo in your own mind. You begin doubting decisions you once made with confidence. You delay actions that once felt natural. You seek their approval before trusting your own instincts. This is how destruction begins, not with a dramatic betrayal, but with the quiet erosion of self-belief. Fake friends don't need to push you off the cliff. They just need to convince you to stand closer to the edge. To expose a fake friend, you don't confront them with anger. Machiavelli would consider that naive. Anger reveals your emotions and gives them information. Instead, you observe. You reduce what you share. You stop revealing your next move. You watch how they behave when they no longer have access to your inner world. Fake friends panic when they lose control. They push for information. They create drama to pull you back in. They accuse you of changing, of becoming distant, of acting different. And in a way, they are right. You are changing. You are becoming aware. Distance is the mirror that reveals truth. When you stop feeding them your vulnerabilities, their mask begins to slip. Their interest fades or turns hostile. They may try to guilt you, reminding you of everything they've done for you, as if loyalty were a transaction. Machiavelli warned that those who help you rise may later demand that you remain dependent. True loyalty does not keep score. Fake loyalty always does. There is a painful clarity that arrives when you finally see them for who they are. You replay old conversations and suddenly hear the manipulation hidden between the words. You remember moments when your intuition tried to warn you, and you ignored it because you didn't want to be alone. This realization hurts, but it also frees you, because once you see the game, you are no longer a pawn. Cutting off fake friends does not require drama or explanations. Machiavelli believed silence is often the most powerful response. You don't need to announce your departure. You simply stop being available. You stop reacting. You stop giving them emotional access. And without your energy, their influence dies. They may speak badly about you after you leave. That is not a loss. That is confirmation. In the end, exposing fake friends is not about punishing them. It is about protecting yourself. It is about choosing solitude over sabotage, clarity over comfort, truth over familiarity. Machiavelli understood that power begins with self-mastery, and self-mastery begins when you stop allowing the wrong people access to your mind. The moment you walk away from those who secretly want to see you fail, you don't just save yourself from destruction, you reclaim the strength they were trying to steal. And perhaps the most unsettling truth of all is this. Fake friends often don't see themselves as villains. They believe their envy is justified, their manipulation is survival, their betrayal is necessity. But Machiavelli would remind you that understanding their motives does not mean tolerating their actions. Wisdom is knowing when to observe, when to withdraw, and when to move forward alone. When you walk forward alone after recognizing a fake friend, the silence can feel heavier than the betrayal itself. There is no applause for choosing self-respect, no dramatic music playing when you finally step away. There is only the quiet hum of your own thoughts returning, slowly, like a power that had been drained from you without permission. This is the stage most people misunderstand. They believe the danger ends once the fake friend is exposed, but Machiavelli would tell you this is when the real test begins. Because those who lose access to you rarely leave peacefully. They linger in shadows, watching, waiting, hoping you will stumble without their presence. A fake friend does not simply disappear when you withdraw. They feel exposed, even if you never accuse them. Your silence becomes an accusation louder than words. They sense that the version of you they could influence no longer exists, and this unsettles them deeply. Some will attempt to return with kindness that feels exaggerated, almost desperate. Others will turn cold, spreading subtle rumors, rewriting history so they appear as the victim and you as the traitor. Machiavelli understood this behavior well. When people lose control, they attack the narrative. They try to control how others see you because they can no longer control you directly. This is why composure matters more than confrontation. If you react emotionally, you confirm their story. If you defend yourself too loudly, you reveal that their opinion still matters. Power, as Machiavelli saw it, often lies in restraint. You let your consistency speak. You let your calm expose their chaos. Over time, people notice who remained steady and who became desperate. Truth has a way of surfacing when you stop interfering with it. As days turn into weeks, something subtle but profound begins to happen inside you. Your decisions feel lighter. Your thoughts become clearer. You realize how much mental energy was once spent managing someone else's emotions, expectations, and hidden competition. Fake friends are exhausting because they turn relationships into battlefields disguised as safe spaces. When they are gone, peace feels unfamiliar at first, almost suspicious. But that peace is your nervous system remembering what safety actually feels like. Machiavelli never romanticized friendship. He believed alliances should be observed, tested, and never blindly trusted. Not because everyone is evil, but because power dynamics change people. The friend who supports you when you are weak may resent you when you become strong. This is not always intentional. Sometimes envy grows quietly, unnoticed even by the one feeling it. That is why awareness matters more than accusation. You are not here to judge hearts. You are here to protect your future. One of the clearest signs that you made the right decision is growth. Without interference, you start moving faster toward your goals. Opportunities appear that once felt blocked. Your confidence no longer needs external validation. Fake friends often act as invisible weights, slowing you down while pretending to support you. When that weight is lifted, momentum feels almost shocking. You realize you were never weak. You were simply surrounded by people who needed you uncertain. Yet, this journey also teaches humility. You begin to see how easy it is to become what once harmed you. Power, clarity, and independence can harden the heart if you are not careful. Machiavelli warned not just about enemies, but about becoming blind to one's own nature. The lesson is not to distrust everyone, but to trust wisely, to give access slowly, to let actions speak longer than words, to understand that loyalty is proven over time, especially when circumstances change. Eventually, you will meet new people. Some will feel genuine, Others will feel familiar in a way that now triggers caution. And that is good. You are no longer naive. You are discerning. You listen more than you speak. You observe how people treat those who cannot benefit them. You notice whether they celebrate others without comparison. These are the quiet signals of real character. Machiavelli believed wisdom is the ability to read people without revealing that you are reading them at all. The greatest victory over fake friends is not revenge, exposure, or public truth. It is becoming unreachable to manipulation. It is building a life so grounded that deceit finds no place to attach itself. When your self-worth no longer depends on proximity to others, fake connections naturally fall away. They cannot survive where there is nothing left to exploit. And perhaps this is the final truth Machiavelli would leave you with. Loneliness is temporary, but self-betrayal lasts forever. Choosing yourself may cost you people, but it will never cost you your soul. Zool. Fake friends can only destroy you if you allow them access to your inner world. The moment you reclaim that space, you become untouchable, not because you are feared, but because you are free. The room feels different now. The air is lighter. The faces around you may be fewer, but they are clearer. And for the first time, the quiet voice in your chest is no longer warning you. It is guiding you forward.